Please subscribe to this channel and also turn on your notification bell in order to get the latest updates.
Let me answer my learned colleague because you see, we are talking, our children are listening and the world is watching. So we should be very careful with what we say. In 1960, the Republic of Cameroon attained independence on the 1st of January. Mm-hmm. They had no constitution. On the 1st of January, when the Republic of Cameroon attained independence, it had no constitution. Their constitution was voted on the 4th of March 1960. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, somebody was trying to say from England that the two options were not imposed by England. Mm-hmm. I want to tell him to go back to his books. Southern Cameroon being a self-governing territory in 1961. Mm-hmm. A self-governing territory in 1961, yes. In the words of the United Nations. Okay. Fell under a different category of rules that were being applied to territories that were being decolonized. So, my learned colleague here is jubilating that we are talking about territory. His honeymoon is very, very short. His honeymoon is going to be very short because I will side with Sisiku Eyonta here. I will side with him here to tell my learned colleague that in 1961, when the United Nations decided to grant independence, as I earlier said, there was an independence vote on the 23rd of April, which gave rise to Resolution 1608. And in Article 2B, the independence of Southern Cameroon was formally recognized. That one, nobody should even disturb himself with that one. It is clear. Now, his problem is that Southern Cameroon, according to him, has never been a state. Let me refresh his memory. In 1959, the Queen of England erected Southern Cameroon, which was previously called British Southern Cameroon, erected into an independent province within the Federation of Nigeria. So it was now called Southern Cameroons. In 1960, the Queen of England enacted the Southern Cameroon's constitution. If you don't have it, please come, I will give you.
I don't need it.
A state that has a constitution. Okay. How can you say a state that has a constitution? Okay, a community that has a constitution is not a state. How? Okay. How is that possible?
Exactly.
That is one. Number two. No. Wait, let me finish with him.
No, he has to react.
Let me finish with him. My points are still there. My points are still there.
It's not him, it's Cameroon.
Resolution 1608, sub 5. 5. The British were given the mandate to oversee an agreement between the two Cameroons. It is clearly stated that Britain should, alongside the government of Southern Cameroon, please go look at that resolution, Article 5. Government of Southern Cameroons and the Republic of Cameroon. So, we are talking here about an international instrument that recognizes that they are talking about a government. If you want to say it is a territory, a territory with a government, what do you call it? Okay. An association? Okay. Please. Look, he said so many things. Don't rush me, please.
Oh, you are coming for me.
No. He said here that in 1961, Cameroon signed the federal constitution. It is wrong. It is wrong. There was no federal constitution that was signed in 1961. Okay. In pursuance to the provision that was given that enabled Britain to organize the parties to have a union treaty, Britain did not attend Fumban. They were supposed to be there. They didn't go there. But before going to Fumban, the Southern Cameroonians held the monthly constitutional conference, where they decided that what they wanted was not federation, but confederation. When they went to Fumban, they signed nothing. The constitution that was presented in Fumban was Ahijo's draft constitution. Now, when Fumban failed,
enacted in March.
excuse me, wait, I'm coming. When Fumban failed, Britain now organized the Yaoundé Constitutional Conference in August 1961. And when they saw that Southern Cameroonians were not bending on their choice of confederation, they took Ahijo's draft constitution and sent it to the Parliament of the Republic of Cameroon in Yaoundé. That single-handedly voted it as a constitutional amendment of the Constitution of 4th of March 1960. That is what became the Constitution of the 1st of September 1961. So it was not the way. No, I want to make it clear. It was not the work of the two Cameroon sitting together. It was the unilateral work of one Cameroon, of the Republic of Cameroon alone.
Now,
Cameroon was never a party to it.
Senior Barrister Ashu, that's a submission. Now, can Senior Barrister
I will open Google. Let's read.
It means that he's campaigning to be president of a country which is illegal. How can he be doing that?
But you have
What he's saying? No. Please. You are a lawyer. You're a president of a political party. I want to be
The
president of
Reform
the country.
Party.
And you are saying that what you are saying is a contradiction to why you want to become president of this country. But in any case,
I will answer you there.
On the 1st of September 1961, it is Muna, Honorable Esther Muna, presented this constitution in the Southern Cameroon House of Parliament.
Southern Cameroon?
And yes, he presented this thing, and he warned parliamentarians to accept it. The 1st of September 1961. 1st of September 1961. I'm not missing what. I'm not lying. I'm not joking. I'm telling the truth. And it passed through that parliament, and it was adopted. And what do you want me to tell me?
My God.
Okay. Yeah.
But in any case,
in any
case, what my learned friend is making as if it's a one by one. Let me take on him too. He has stated so many facts here, but he's living where? In Douala, Cameroon. He created his political party. Where is the head office? Douala, Cameroon. He wants to be president of which country? A country where part of it is considered illegal, but he wants to be president of the country. It's some contradiction. Okay. You see, when once you bring out this type of information, and you want to make as if the country was managed at that time by donkeys, because that's what he's portraying, that he's more intelligent than those who managed the country at that time and did what they did at that time and managed it at that time and until we're here today, 50 years afterwards. By so doing, what are you doing? You are planting seeds of discord, hate, anger, hatred, vexation, and misunderstanding in the population. And once you do that, and you think you can be president of the country by spread, I say no, it's not possible. You want to attack me? Okay. Instead of bringing our ideas, okay, let's go on that road.
Okay.
I'll follow. But in any case,
yes.
But let's put this straight. Nobody has attacked the 1972 referendum to date. Nobody has attacked the 1984 change of the name and ratification of the parliament as of date. Why should I be the one to come and say it is not correct? You have all those who think that it is not correct are scared of doing what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
Encouraging people, boys, to take guns and go to the bushes instead of doing what they're supposed to do. They think that.
What are they supposed to do, Senior Barrister?
Legally speaking, there are ways of challenging a referendum. Legally speaking, there are ways of challenging a constitutional amendment that you don't like.
Okay.
If you don't do it, who do you think will do it for you? Okay. Let's say after 50 years, 1972 to date, nobody has done anything. We know the normal prescription period for engaging litigation is about 30 years. Why are we still want to cry over spilled milk?
Okay. Let's react, Mr. Sulaiman.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I disagree with Barrister Ashu when he said 1984 should be considered as Independence Day. I disagree with that because it was an illegal decision taken by the President of the Republic without consultations. It was supposed to be at least you have to do a referendum in Southern Cameroon to know whether the people of Southern Cameroon wants to join or want to change that United Republic of Cameroon to Republic of Cameroon.
But at the
Well,
time,
he took
you
it.
say he took the decision at the time.
Yeah.
Did
He
the
ratified the
constitution?
parliament.
Did the constitution give him the power? And if the constitution gave him the power, was he not acting under the mandate of the constitution?
That was not correct, because you must do a referendum to know whether the people want to that United Nations, that United, to be removed from United Republic of Cameroon or not. But you took a presidential decree, which was wrong. It was wrong for the president to take a decree to change a sensitive thing like that, only because he wanted to appease, he wanted to get firm control of things. As he has done everything, you see, with that decision of that United Republic leaving that place, gave the president enormous powers to do terrible things in this country.
So you disagree with
He
Senior
let
Barrister
so many
Ashu?
people. Yes, I disagree with you in
Ashu.
total. In total.
Yes, I would just want to add one or two things concerning the truth of that first of the 1st of October. Another truth that we must agree here is that from the historical perspective and those who lived the period, that date was constantly celebrated even after 1961. So even when reunification had taken place in southern Cameroon, the 1st of October used to still be celebrated as a symbolic and important date, while 1st of January used to also be celebrated. So if it happened that they wanted to harmonize an independent date for a national day, it was supposed to be very tactfully selected, rather than using a date that is going to hurt another party. Because whether we accept it or not, modern day Africa is a creation of what happened by the superpowers. And even till today,
What was decided in Berlin?
Yes, it was decided in Berlin. And even as we speak today, they are still taking part in formatting what happens in other countries. Lastly, when Senior Barrister Ashu said Southern Cameroon was never a state, that is distorting even present definition of a state. I think what we are saying is that it was not a sovereign state. But to say it was not a state is not academically correct. Because what is a state? A state is a territory with an organized political system or community headed by a government. And there are three components in modern day definition of a state that can give a territory that definition. You should have at least a government, a territory, and a population. If Southern Cameroon had a fixed territory that could be dismantled from Nigeria and made a territory, it means it had a fixed territory. If there are people who can call themselves today Southern Cameroonian and there's nobody in Nigeria who claimed that it was a Southern Cameroonian and was taken to Nigeria, it means there was a clear demarcation. Yeah. And if there was a prime minister with other ministers that we can recognize today, the Foncha was a prime minister, Ngole was a prime minister, Joa was a prime minister, and so on. There was no president because they had not yet attained sovereignty. So to me, I think in my little knowledge, when a state becomes sovereign, it must have another head beyond a prime minister, which could be a president in most of the cases. So we are not arguing about the issue of state and no state. I think what is important here is whether the territory gained independence as an independent country, which Barrister Ashu is trying to emphasize the fact that that is where the bulk of the trouble started. Because if they had to follow the normal aspect of how territories got independence, when Britain was to remove his hand from that territory, it was to grant it full independence because it was a territory that was, because French Cameroon that was part of it had its independence. Okay. It had. Otherwise, they would have waited to say we cannot accept independence until we get back that our territory that was separated from us through Britain and France. Territory. So it is a no, it is a territory. All right.
Senior Barrister Ashu.
All right.
Let me answer you.
Yes. Senior Barrister Ashu, then Barrister Ashu will react.
Let me
briefly, I want us to get to Professor NgoleNgole, a brief excerpt, even if it's just 2 minutes, to have his own thought on this. Then we'll come back and we'll look at the truth, and we'll look at the conspiracies and the lies.
There's nothing we are scared to your own.
No, come on, we know where they are. If you don't know, we'll show you.
Let us get to Professor NgoleNgole. After that, we'll look at the conspiracies and the lies.
Thank you so much, Professor NgoleNgole, political scientist, director of the Cameroon People's grant this interview on behalf of House of Commons.
Oh, yeah.
Professor, we are discussing with you today. Today is the 1st of October, and it's a controversial day in the history of Cameroon. And the question I have for you today is, are Anglophones wrong to have the nostalgia to return to the federal system? When we take a look at what happened on the 1st of October 1961.
Well, I tell you, Bo, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, but I talk to you again as a very conscientious, a very honest citizen who comes from one of the two regions of the Northwest and Southwest. I'm from Tombere, which is in Kupe-Maniguba division, from the Southwest region. And when I speak of something that has to do with our history and our politics, I try to be as frank as I can be. I try to be as honest and as straightforward as I can be. You asked the question, Anglophones, meaning those of English-speaking expression from the two regions, right to be they did not start to be nostalgic about the return to federalism. I think that in the society in which we live, which is a free society, in the political system in which we have, which is a unitary, decentralized system, in the system of government which we have, which is a democratic, presidential or semi-presidential system, a multi-party system, every citizen, no matter whether you come from Northwest or Southwest, whether you speak English or you speak French, is free to be nostalgic about the history of Cameroon. But the fact that you are free to be nostalgic means you think good of what you had before. That's why you say nostalgia is the thought of your past and its goodness, or what was good about it. You are free to think like that, but the fact that you are free does not make you right or does not make it right. I personally think that those Anglophones, and I am one of them, who, when I say I'm one of them, I say I'm an Anglophone, just like the other Anglophones. Those Anglophones who think nostalgic about what happened with the federal system in 1961, they are free to do so, but I don't think they are right. I don't think they are right. They are wrong for the following reasons. They are wrong, one, because the people of Cameroon, after 11 years of the federal system, decided in a national referendum to abolish it and to replace it with a unitary system. That referendum was right, was constitutional. It was of May 20th, 1972, and that has become law. And that is what we live with, even though that unitary system has even been reformed to become a unitary decentralized system, which we have now. Second, they are wrong because they are nostalgic about a past which in law, which by the Constitution, which by political legitimacy is past and gone, has been replaced.